Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about Vinyasas. You might think about what is Vinyasa exactly? So the term means many things. One thing you can think about connection with breath and movement. So throughout our practice we move one breath, one movement, connecting postures to each other with this breath. So it's a link between breath and movement. But also Vinyasa is that three posture that connects postures to each other or flows to each other. So if you practice Ashtanga or Rocket or any Vinyasa flow practice, you might be seeing this coming forward to high plank, lowering down through Chaturanga, coming up to up dog and back to your downward facing dog. So today we're going to see how to break this down, how to do Vinyasas properly, and also how to modify them. So please take off your socks, get ready on your mat, and let's see what we can do. Alright, to break down the Vinyasas, we're going to go stage to build up to our full Vinyasa. We're going to try to modify it so you make it easier. Usually when you need to modify your Vinyasa, it has to be at your Chaturanga, your high plank to low plank, and then your up dog or your low cobra. So we're going to see all these variations. So the first entry level of your Vinyasa will look like this. You will start from your downward facing dog. You will come forward to your high plank, shoulders above the wrist. In your high plank, you spread the fingers wide, push up between the shoulder blades, protract. Keep the belly button lifting up and towards the spine and up and under the rib cage. Spread the fingers wide and hold. From there, you will drop your knees down to support and untuck your feet. From there, you're going to shift the weight forward to line to straighten the torso. So you see, I used to have that lower back curl, closing the ribs, shifting the weight forward, lowering the hips slightly, looking for a bit more of a straight line. If you can move the shoulders further forward than your wrist, if your wrist allows you, you can. If it doesn't work, you can always move your hands forward. From that, you're going to lower down with control. You keep your hips tucked under, engaging the glutes slightly, pushing up between the shoulder blades, and slowly bending the elbow. So not dropping the hips, lowering down with control down to your belly. When you're on your belly, hands pressing down firmly, feet pressing down, you lift your chest halfway, low cobra. So your low cobra doesn't have to be too high, it's just a little lift, but you can lift up comfortably using the strength of your back, hands, and your feet. From your low cobra, hugging the elbows towards each other, shoulders rolling back, you sit back towards your heels to your child's pose. Tuck your feet under, lift your tailbone up, back to your downward facing dog. So what you try to avoid here, where can you go wrong? Even if you find your straight line here, sometimes instead of bending the elbows, that's what you should be doing, using your arms, we lead with the hips. Now you see my back is curving, my shoulders are rolling up towards the ears, and that's going to hurt your back. So many people even skip your Vinyasa, your Chaturanga. So when you find that you go forward, you can even video yourself to see it. Instead of dropping the hips down and ending up coiling down, hurting your back in the long term, try to make sure you really focus on going slow. And if you go slower than others, no problem. Really focus on using your arms and then lifting. The other problem what we can have is coming all the way down to your belly, then press into your hands and drop up to a seal. So this is not an up dog, this is a seal because my hips and my thighs down. So try to avoid from the belly coming all the way up. There is no point to do that. If you feel that you have the strength to lift up and away, go for it. But I would recommend if you come all the way, just to come halfway. It's not going to make you less than of a yogi or a professional or very good at yoga. It just means that you listen to your body. So our first option, just to recap, I'll show it once again. Come forward to your high plank, knees down, untuck your feet, lowering down with control. Inhale to your low cobra, lift up. Exhale, sit down to your child and back to your downward facing dog. Now that takes us to our option 2. Option 2 will look much more like a full Vinyasa. So from there, you come forward to your high plank, drop your knees down, untuck your feet, shift the weight forward, but we're not going to lower down all the way to the mat. So we're going to start to bend the elbows, lowering down halfway, hold, press into the tops of the feet, and lift up, finding your up dog. So in up dog, you can see only my tops of my feet and my hands are down. I'm pressing away from the floor. From there, you lift up to your downward facing dog. So this is a good way to build up strength, but also if you get very tired from your full vinyasa, you can always come back to this stage. Very important, you need quite a lot of openness on the lower back. So practicing swings, coming to seal, yin posture can be very useful to build up that openness through the lower back or middle back, depend on where you back bend from, depend on your anatomy. So eventually, we want to work up to stage 3. So stage 3 is a full chaturanga. But because I'm not going to expect you to do a full deep chaturanga on your own straight away. So how I build up my strength is going as far as I could. So if you're still working on your arm strength, what you can do, instead of going down all the way to elbows and shoulders in line, because this is your chaturanga, looking for that 90 degrees, if your wrist allows it, and not going under. So in your chaturanga, you should not have your shoulders under the elbows. You should have almost in line, a little bit higher up. So what you can work up to is, from your downward facing dog, come towards your high plank, shoulders above the wrist, hold, belly button lifting up, Uddiyana Bandha is on, shift away forward, and lower down until you can. If this is your maximum, this is your maximum. Push the floor away. Wait there a second, and change to your up dog. And up, lifting back up to your downward facing dog. So the more you repeat this, obviously you will have to slow down the movement because it will take longer to the others to lower down to full chaturanga. So wherever you're going to lower to, you're going to lower to and hold. Hold, hold, then lift. Because if you rush the movement, you're not going to build the strength. So what you're going to do, come forward, hold, go as low as you can, hold there. When everyone else is going to up dog, you go to up dog. You're going to build the strength. So now let's see how full vinyasa. I will try to breathe through so you can see how it should look like. From your down dog, inhale, come forward to your high plank. Exhale it out. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. So it should be nice, graceful. It's not an easy movement. It takes practice and practice to build up for it. But we have time, we're not rushing, and please do modify if you need to. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Any questions, just do let me know.